What's up, everybody? Back for another Honkai Star Wars video, and we have a lot to talk about. So, they recently ended the 3.2, aka second anniversary live stream. I'm not gonna lie, it ended a lot quicker than I thought it would, which is nice for me because I took like a 4-hour nap. So, W. But in this video, we're gonna be going over what they announced. So, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's see if they saved Honkai Star Rail. So, first things first, obviously, the new Trailblaze chapter featured around Castoris and then Anaxa, the two new characters. Shaka there's like a new map, all that good stuff. I'm not going to show the map, obviously, so if you want to be surprised, you can be surprised. Then next up, we have the banners. So, Castoris, obviously, and her light cone. We have Pela, Gallagher, and Lynx. Overall, a pretty solid banner, considering Gallagher is really good still, and Pela is also pretty good as well. For the light cones, we have the Natasha healing one, the like free to play Acheron option. It gives like crit stats, right? And then we have the very good Nihility Pale light cone, so that's pretty cool. Other than that, nothing too crazy on this side. Then we have the reruns. The reruns are going to be Fugue, Jiaoqiu, and Acheron, obviously featuring the same 4 stars. For me personally, even though I don't have the first 2 characters, I think I'm gonna go for Fugue just because I want to make sure that Rappa is, has her buffs and is all good, right? Since I'm still using Harmony MC. So overall, pretty good. We have the 2 characters that work really well together. Fugue just for break stuff, I'm assuming, if you didn't grab it before. Now that you know that RMC is like a character you'd want to actually use. And then, Castoris, who doesn't really work with these 3, but I mean, hey, is what it is. Then we have part 2, which is Anaxa. The 4 stars are Mose, Serval, and Donhang. Serval being very good for the Herda, and then Mose being a good option for follow-up. And then we have the... I don't remember this one does, I'll be honest with you. I just know this one icon's bad. This one is the break effect one, and this is the preservation burn one, which has niche uses. Then we have the faded rerun of Dr. Ratio. Unfortunately, he's not going to be free this time around, so if you missed him, it is what it is, right? But Dr. Ratio is finally rerunning. A bit aged, though, unfortunately. Next up, we have the events. We have the Seal Slammer event. Pretty much, you take your seals and you would launch them like there's an old game, I can't remember what it's called, but you pretty much like drag them back and then aim. They fly and hit the other enemies. There's multiplayer, and the multiplayer will be available even after version 3.2. So that's pretty cool. You get a new pet, Stellar Jades, all that good stuff. Then we have a new combat event. It is this type of event, by the way. So I expect it to be pretty easy. Most of the time, you can just pick the trial characters and hit auto and you'll win. But it's nice. More currency. I'm a big fan of the fighting events. We'll have to see what buffs they give. Considering it has the characters' attacks on, like this one's Dot because it's Kafka's. This one is Aglius, so it's going to be like Memo Sprite stuff, right? But overall, cool. Right, then we have the relic finalization settings. Pretty much you can click on one of these and it will auto salvage your relics for you. That'll be pretty nice, so you don't just clog up your inventory by forgetting to salvage them. And you're really only using 5-star ones anyway, so you just click 4-star, hit confirm, and then it just gives you like the 3 5-stars and the 2 5-star relics you dropped, and then you go from there, right? Then we have the smart discard. You can pretty much be like, okay, if this quantum set piece doesn't have crit rate on it, auto salvage it. You go from there, right? Obviously, it's going to be case by case with certain relics, certain characters, so I probably won't use this just in case, but it is a cool little feature. Next up, we have the Star Rail World event. Pretty much how this works is you have I want to say cookie clicker because I can't remember what any of these games are actually called, but you passively gain money and then you can upgrade your characters to make you more money, buy new like shops to give you more money, and then you just keep going up until you get all the rewards, which is pretty cool. You do get a free light cone, but they didn't say what it did, and stellar jids and whatnot. Then we have the login bonus. We get 20 passes, so that is 2 multis for you guys. Big W there. And then you also get another multi through Stellar Jades and 10 fuel. You pretty much pick what character you want to get a message from, and then they say like, oh yeah, let's say Himiko would be like, oh, it's such a joy to have you on the express, 1,600 Stellar Jades, 10 fuel. Or Firefly would be like, oh hey, I miss you, we should meet up at some point. So we'll probably say something about gaming. I can't imagine what the hell Blade would say. I'm not too sure who I will pick. It makes the most sense to pick Firefly to me from like a story narrative, just because if they're sending you a message, you literally can talk to all of these people, like everyone on the top row on the Sunday. They're on the express with you. Well, March is technically not able to send it, so that'll be interesting on what the hell she says. But it makes more sense for the Stellar Hunters to send it to you because they're not like, you know, right there with you. But we'll see. Then we have the 300% drop rate for both Planar Fissure and Realm of the Strange. 300% drop rates for Relic Remains. Huge W, right? Then we have the annual Trailblaze report, which this is pretty much just tells you fun facts about your account. Like, let's say you've defeated 800 trotters, or you've taken 1 million, 5 bazillion, yada yada steps. You've used this much stamina. Your favorite character was, I don't know, Ting Yun, whatever it is, right? Cool fun facts, how long you've played. It gives you some rewards if you go and view it, so I highly recommend doing this when it comes out. It's just a cool little thing, right? I also think it's just a consumable, I'm pretty sure. All right, next up is the actual offline events, what they call. This is stuff like the concert and whatnot, so not anything too crazy, right? None of this stuff is being held anywhere where I can actually go, so it is what it is, right? Then we have the content creator little thing. It's for like artists and whatnot. Full details will probably be posted later on this, so if someone who makes art or whatnot, you know, you probably get good rewards for this. Then we have the little overview they did, which is pretty nice, right? I like this little graphic. I'm just gonna, you know, I take my screenshots anyway, but it's cool that they have everything here for you just to look at, right? Now comes the crazy good stuff, right? This is pretty much going to, quote unquote, try to save the game. I didn't take a screenshot of it, but they are keeping Castor's global passive. It will revive you even if you just own the character. They pretty much skimmed over it pretty quickly, and then the entire chat was just L global passive, L passive, L. So clearly people are not happy. So it really depends on this upcoming stuff to really save the game. We have free 5-star Luocha or Ruan. So really quickly, you can do this until the end of version 3.4, right? You have to reach level 4 and then you get it. So I'll make a video on who you should get, even though it's pretty clear it's going to be Ruan Mei, because Luocha just heals you. Ruan Mei is a really good support. How this works is you will get a golden companion spirit, right? If you obtain a 5-star character with max Eidolons, you will receive a silver companion token, and then you can use it to exchange, right? And they have to be a 5-star character. So this is good for me, I guess, because I pulled so many Yanqings and Jeopards. I think I have E5 Yanqing and E5 Jeopard, right? So if I lose 50-50 of them, I could get this pretty easily, right? You do have to get 2 of them, though. I'm assuming the way they do this is so they could make it so it's a little bit harder to get these, but if you're someone who loses 50-50 to the same character over and over, this is a W. The reason I'm showing this first is because they are giving you a golden companion spirit instead of a free choice, meaning you can technically hold on to this, and if they ever update this, I'm going to assume they will, not too sure when, you could then exchange it for other characters, right? So that is a option. But overall, this is really good, especially for my free-to-play account, because I don't have Ruan Mei and I have a break team on that one. I'm conflicted because I could get E1 Ruan Mei, which is really strong, or I could get Luocha, which is a new character I don't have, and I like having 1 copy of each character. So I'm conflicted, right? Then we have a standard banner optimization. So how this is going to work is Fushuan, Zele, and Blade are being added to the standard banner, right? You can customize it, meaning that for me, right, since I have Jeopard and Yanqing at high dupes, I probably want to keep them in for this new one, but I will probably never use Clara, Bailu, or Welt, right? So what I would do is I would replace Welt with Zele, Clara with Blade, and Bailu with Fushuan. Now, when I lose 50-50 and I see Preservation, I could get Fushuan. If I see Destruction, I could see Blade. If I see Hunt, I could see Zele, which is pretty solid, I'm not gonna lie. Especially because this means that you could passively get dupes for these characters, and while not being too strong at the moment, the dupes are very, very helpful, right? Then we have light cones. So light cone memory shards times 4 can be exchanged for 5-star light cones, which is pretty big, right? Zayla's light cone is a pretty good universal hunt light cone. Blaze is going to be the second best in slot for Mide. His light cone's obviously going to be better, but this is a good option for free plays. Ruan Mei is I can't remember the full effect, but it was like somewhat decent. Luocha's is, for healing, and then Fu Xuan's is, for her. But overall, Blade and I'll probably make a video on which one you should pick. But Blade and Zayla's light cones are a huge W here, right? Unfortunately, they didn't say, unless I missed it, if these are going to be added to the light cone banner. If they are, let me know in the comments, and I'll pin your tweet or your tweet. Jeez, what is this, Twitter? I'll pin it, or because I'll have to double check. But I don't think they said it, right? I don't think they said it, which is unfortunate. But hey, at least we can exchange, right? In terms of how to get the light cone memory shard, I'm not entirely sure. The only way we could show it was this. They are refreshing the top-up bonuses, and if you spend enough money, you can get the golden companion spirit and the light cone memory shards, along with exclusive personal display set. Which is cool. It pretty much means you are a filthy whale. Will I get this? I'm not too sure. I'm assuming this lasts for the entire 3.2 update. So if you're going to spend, you spend now, because then you can get a golden companion spirit. You can hold on to it and go from there. But wait, there's more. In version 3.4, Silverwolf, Blade, Kafka, and Jinglu will receive buffs. These buffs are going to be for the characters themselves, meaning my fear of them just giving them like a cool little light cone is not going to happen. They're buffing the characters themselves, meaning that unless they just make it like an EZA like Dokkan, it's pretty much just going to be permanently buffs, which is pretty nice. Having Blade be an option is insane, considering he's going to be a standard banner character now. So huge W. I am very happy. I don't think Kafka really needed buffs, because she really just needed dot teammates, but if they're not going to give us dot teammates, they're buffing Kafka at least, so that's cool. I have Kafka and Jinglu. I'll be doing videos on what these characters need to succeed in the future, so don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on that. But overall, a huge W. But wait, there's more. In the future, they're going to be dropping a video that pretty much shows what has been happening with older characters, right? This will be stuff like what Jinglu and Luocha have been doing, where's Acheron right now, which is pretty cool. Nothing to really help the game, but it is a cool little lore thing for older characters. Then in 3.8, we are getting a true ending depending Coney, technically. It wraps up some things. I'm not too sure exactly how they plan to go about this, but just know we're getting a cool little story stuff in 3.8. And then at the very end, well, they mentioned this, but I'm gonna say this for the end. This year we'll be able to get a brand new limited 5-star character completely for free. This is gonna work basically like Dr. Ratio. I'm going to assume this has to do with the Fate collab, because it would just make sense how Genshin had Alloy for free, that we would get one of the Fate characters for free. I don't know who they would be, right? I'm assuming it would be like Saber, because she's like the main Fate icon, right? I don't know if she'll be free, but we are getting a new 5-star character completely for free. So that is a big W. I'm just assuming it's Fate, right? I could be wrong. It could be something else. But considering they didn't talk about when it was, what version, I'm just going to assume they want to stay, in the dark about Fate, and they just were saying this. So that's pretty cool. Overall, that means we are getting a free copy of Ruinmei or Luocha, or if you save it, a future character. We are getting these three in the standard banner, and you can exchange for these light cones. Is that enough? Well, I do think this is a huge W for Starro, because one of the main things is power creep, which is not solved, but helped by one, having these characters in the standard banner, so you can summon for characters who, are a lot better than Yanqing, right? Light cones that are going to help you with, getting just better stats in general, especially with these two, right? The fact that, well, this is only if you spend. This stuff is pretty nice, right? The buffing of older characters, while it does help with power creep, the one issue is Castoris and her global passive. I personally don't know if these rewards are enough long term, right? Because if they keep doing global passives, those free stuff is cool and all, but it won't matter in the end, right? I do think people will log in and get the currency, get the free character, play during anniversary, but I really don't know if it's enough to save the game from global passives. I really just don't, right? I think it's a good update. I think it is a great update. They're doing so much stuff. The buffing of the older characters, of course, it's not during this update, but we know when it's happening and who it's happening for, so you can help plan around that. But the global passive thing is just it's a yikes. It's a yikes. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think this is a W anniversary? Do you think they did good on the rewards? Do you think they deserve to give you more? Do you think that the global passive is, you know, whatever now? Like, we're good because we got other stuff? Do you think it's still a huge L? Let me know in the comments. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to have a ton of videos going forward, considering all the amount of information we just got. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.